Very good afternoon. Welcome back to the hub, the headquarters of the Vendée Globe, this 10th edition. We're on day number 83 and out there on the race course. Well, Roman Attanasio is heading in. He should be in on Sunday. He's got 660 miles to go this afternoon, and then a great drag race for 15th to 19th. There's only 100 miles between Damien Sagan and the boats behind, and it's really going to be an interesting boat race all the way in. Then yesterday, sad news that Arnaud Boissy dismasted at the latitude of the Cape Verde Islands. So Calais is heading west just now under Kite, and this is unfortunate update this morning. This is Calais.
Bon ben voilà, j'ai dématé ce matin. Je suis un peu au bout du rouleau, mais bon. Et j'ai envoyé l'aile de kite de mon ami Yves Parlier. Donc là, on est tracté par l'aile de kite. C'est bien les boules. Et maintenant, l'objectif, c'est aller en sécurité à bon port et voilà. Je suis pas blessé, je me suis fait mal aux mains, mais rien de grave. Je suis tellement déçu. Là.
So sobering, disappointing update there from Calais under Kite as they're heading west at the moment. My guest today, well, Boris Herrmann is with us. Boris, how are you? And Holly Kova, the team manager from Team Militia. How are you both?
Tired from yesterday. We had a nice celebration with everyone, the team, and also the team of Initiative Course with Sam Davies.
And Holly, how are you?
Happy to have him back. And yeah, the same. A little bit tired, but very happy.
It's been stressful for you?
Not so stressful. There were moments, but Boris also keeps a very calm head, so that helps.
How was this race for you, Boris, compared to the last one? You seemed more serene and happier around the race course.
Yes, the result was less what we expected than last time. It was a positive surprise. Oh, almost on top of the list at the end, and then this time far behind expectations. But apart from that, I was positively surprised with my own state of mind, being serene and calm, as you say, and having a good time with myself and the boat at sea. And yeah, happy to be out there. I could have stayed longer, and I didn't suffer. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it more than last time. Last time you had moments when you were quite up and quite down.
Yeah. More quite often down, I would say, almost. I really found it difficult to be alone, and this time not at all. So I'm quite surprised about this drastic contrast between the two editions.
How do you feel physically? I mean, you look like you've just come back from Hamburg.
Yes, it's not the case. I have arrived here yesterday, so
of course. We
can assure you. I feel probably the fatigue kicking in the next few days. Now I'm still excited to see everyone, to meet everyone for the first time. It's the first lunch today in this year, 2025, was my first lunch with people.
What did you have?
I had fish and gratin, potato gratin.
And what about that big storm? What was it like living through that? I mean, Sam Davies yesterday said she was scared. She had her headphones in, loud music. How did you cope with it?
I mean, I think I had headphones, the same ones as Sam. We exchange a lot. I see her a little bit as a role model. It's her fourth Vendée Globe, so I tend to try to ask more experienced sailors all the time what they do and try to imitate. So I bought exactly the same model of headphones, and we could, in many other details, refer to her as well. And I think we wear headphones 95% of the time. So I had, even in the tropics, when it was the sweat, little irritated skin around the ears, and I found a technique to sleep on this without too much pressure on the ear.
Is it just noise cancelling, or do you have something else that you listen to? Or?
It is at least noise cancelling, but quite often calming music. So when I'm like in a stressful situation like the storm, I have different playlists with calming music, calming piano music, for example, just that. And it's kind of very neutral music. It doesn't trigger any excitement nor any emotions. I don't know, it's kind of, don't know the music yet, so it doesn't trigger any memories. So it's just something that really, like elevator music, you know, like it really calms me down a lot. It helps really to take completely away the storm.
But even after all the experience you have, you still get scared?
Yes, I mean, I wasn't kind of scared totally, but it was a very measured decision to go in these conditions, and I saw Sam Davies really waiting and hesitant to go, and then we kind of both exchanged, and we both finally went. You could have also turned out the other way, that we wait longer and completely let these storms disappear and then go 2 days later. But so the exchange, the camaraderie is really a special thing in the Vendée Globe, and speak to the boat that's next to you, and that was very helpful.
Didn't you, round the course?
I liked it in general, and along this race course I was always exchanging with those next to me, like Justine for a period, then Sam Goodchild from the Cape Horn until I dropped out.
And they all go.
And they went, but then we exchanged a lot with him, and later on now with Sam.
Boris, I'll come back to you in a few seconds. Hopefully we do have Conrad Colman with us on board. MS Amlin, Conrad, how are you?
Yeah. I'm here, Andy. Just got a gust of 45 knots at the moment. So welcome to the thick of it.
We've got Boris Herrmann with us
full on here
this afternoon. Boris is going to say a quick hello. You two know each other well from days gone by.
Yes, hi Conrad. Nice to see you fresh and smiling in your boat, and I'm sure the 45 knots gust will be over soon for you.
Yeah. Right, I just need to show this. We're surfing down a big wave. So there's water absolutely everywhere. As I said, there's another 45 knot gust. The boat was doing 30 knots as it surfed down a wave. Thanks, Boris. Your race and your videos were inspiring. It was cool to follow your race. I know that it was at times very disappointing, but I was very inspired by the manner in which you confronted all of the challenges, and have done my best to emulate this vibe. It was certainly one of my objectives of this race, was to really control my emotions and again confront all of the challenges in a positive way. And I'm, more than anything, I'm proud about the fact that the way that I've managed myself during this race, and I could see that you are very actively doing the same thing as well. So big congratulations to you for the way that you sailed the race.
Yeah, same to you. Same to you. Congratulations with your campaign. I saw your boat a year ago. It was really not ready yet then, and now you're doing a solid race. You're competing very well, and also hearing that you picked up on the mental game and are ahead of it, and winning your own mind game. So congratulations for that. I think it's the most important aspect to feel well with yourself.
Yeah, it certainly is, because the race is full of challenges, and even last night I had an electrical blackout and lost the autopilot when I was sailing full speed under the small Jenica at night, and so I was inside, and I saw out of the corner of my eye the degree of light in the cockpit changed as the screens went black. And so I ran into the cockpit, grabbed the tiller, and I was sailing in almost 40 knots of wind downwind with the Jenica. And then your heart certainly sinks, because you're there with the tiller in your hand and just watching the screens go black, and then there's black everywhere else. There was no stars, no moon, just everything was black last night. I couldn't even see the horizon. And so, going back to sailing the boat like a dinghy, not knowing anything about my wind angle, just sailing the boat under the sensations of the speed and the heel as you're surfing down the waves. And then when I saw that the pilot was not coming back, I had to fill the Jenica while also driving the boat, and then stop the boat face to head to wind, and then I was able to do a reset on all of the electronics, and everything sort of came back to life, and I was able to keep going again. But there are certainly very intense moments of loneliness and solitude when you're there and everything's going wrong. there are two ways of approaching that. One is you can sort of scream and cry, and that's probably how I would have managed that when I was a younger man. And then sort of this time I ended up feeling quite proud of the way that I managed the situation and was able to focus, give the circumstance all of my attention, but then easily find a way out and deal with the circumstances. So yeah, big challenges.
Conrad, what's ahead for you coming into Les Sables d'Olonne between now and finishing, in terms of weather and opportunities?
Yeah, well, opportunities are reducing. We're in this pack of 8 boats, and I think on more boat speed, I've probably got the slowest boat, and I'm a little bit behind, in part because of the challenges that I told you about just now, and also I had several challenges with my sails last night in the strong wind. So I'm a little bit on the back foot relative to the other boats, but there's about a little bit more than 1,000 miles to go. And at the moment, we've got strong wind from the south as the depression comes in. That will turn around and we'll have strong wind from the north as we go across Finisterre in Spain. And then finally, it looks like there's going to be a shutdown for us when we get into Biscay. So there's several transitions, several opportunities. Both high wind and low wind, and what I can guarantee you is that it's going to be a fight to the finish for sure. There's still many places to play for.
Well, Conrad, I wish you best of luck with that. You've got many, many fans following you in France and in the UK and Europe, all of the English-speaking world. But also back in your native New Zealand, we've got a special welcome or a special message from Michael Williams in the Waikawa Boating Club in North Island, New Zealand, and an invitation to you when you're back. This is Michael for you.
Yes.
Hey, Conrad, just wanted to send you a message from New Zealand. This is Mike from Waikawa in the beautiful Marlborough Sounds. We've been watching you guys go around the world and we have absolutely loved it. You've been absolutely outstanding. If you ever want to come down to our little cruises Tuesday night racing, you would be more than welcome. Open invitation for any of the Vendée sailors and of course for Andy as well. Wishing you the best wishes to get home safely, and we look forward to seeing you back in Les Sables d'Olonne. Cheers. Bye.
What about that, Conrad, eh? Welcome back to New Zealand when you get the chance.
That's fantastic. Thanks very much, Mike. I love the sound, and I love the opportunity to come and join you there on a
Wednesday night.
Tuesday night sailing? Wednesday night can race. Fantastic. Well, honestly, nothing would give me more joy.
I can imagine that, Conrad.
Right now.
Absolutely. Anyway, Conrad, as ever, a privilege to share your race with you, and stay safe, stay fast, and we'll see you in Les Sables d'Olonne in the next few days.
Dude, I cannot wait. Thank you, Boris. Thank you, Holly. All the best.
So there we go, Conrad Colman on MS Amlin. Boris, you've known Conrad for a long time.
Yeah, we have been friends since a long time. I have done a 2008-9 Class 40 race around the world, and he did the edition after that. So he contacted me to acquire some reference, some experience, and I came to his start a couple of days. I volunteered for his team to work a bit on his boat. We prepared some technical last-minute things. We went out to the start line. I actually got seasick and had to throw up from his boat on the day of the start of his race, just an hour before the start. Also, we had a big night with him out before the start. But no, a great friendship since more than 10 years. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your boat then. And were you happy with the boat generally?
Well, yeah, my boat, I'm very happy. It was what we did as a team. We were very involved ourselves, which is not the case for every team. Some other teams, there's more the architect doing it and the team takes a boat. It really depends on the scenario. In our case, we were really team-driven, very close collaboration with VPLP, but everything which is interior, the cockpit was completely down to us to draw it. I remember during COVID lockdown, I used a table and a chair and sticked with tape some things like the brush from the kitchen, and so to imagine how the cockpit would, the dimensions I wanted, and I measured the distance from the pedestal to the winches and the height of the winch table at home, and that's what we have, and it's a really good ergonomy, and I felt much better than on the previous boat, on the previous race. It's light is coming in, it has space, so I didn't, probably my different feeling on the Solitude in kind of a bit this depressed mode in the south that I had in the little shell black hole of the old boat. I didn't feel it this time because it's just very ergonomic, very comfortable, and very
The next boat will be an evolution of this one, will it? Or do you start with a clean sheet of paper, or what's your...
Yeah, I want even more outlook. I want more scenery. I want to be even more connected with the ocean. I think, you know, we saw that for Jan Richaume's boat.
Yeah.
And I think it was an odd choice for many to see him sitting facing forward, which is not the most logical way because you want to access your winch and stuff. But probably by being able to see the ocean, being very connected to the sea state, to the way how his boat sails, that could be a mental and technical advantage as well. So I think we go a bit down that road as well.
What other evolutions are you imagining after this race in terms of the boat and the hardware?
Faster, lighter, stronger, better.
Easy said.
Easier. But I mean, we can, probably big changes come from where kind of small things that you wouldn't think about, like even where you put the foil bearing, for example, in a boat. You can gain a little bit of projected area in the water, and those things can make sometimes bigger differences than the hull shape.
Holly, meantime, you have to make this all work. And I mean, if you look at the evolution of your team from 4 years ago, what's ahead for you in the next 4 years?
She gets big wish lists on her table.
Wish list, is that what you call it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, the aim is to keep, obviously, the current team. Like, we've built it up over the last 4 or 5 years, and yeah, we don't want to lose people, so we want to keep that moving and of course, grow that as well for the next races. So.
But it's a big team, a big operation, a big responsibility.
Yeah, no, it is a big team. I mean, we're not as big as we were for the ocean race, so we're definitely quite a lot smaller than we were a few years ago. But it's a really well-functioning team, and I think everyone's grown together so much. So.
And commercially, you're in a solid platform looking forward.
We are, yeah.
What's the next evolution there?
You have to wait and see for that one. That will come soon. That'll be the next announcement.
And what's it been like back at home in terms of media interest in Germany for?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been really amazing, actually. I think, you know, with the last Vendée Globe, of course, it kind of ramped up because Boris wasn't as well known for that race. But this time, the media have really been super interested and, you know, been coming to us, and it's been really great to see.
Is there a next generation of Borises coming through in Germany, Boris?
Yeah, definitely. There are candidates. There's Lennart Burke and Melvin Fink, Sunny Boyke, a few others from the Olympics that do shape up great professional careers. Eric Heil in the SAGP, and there's the young girl who was in the NACRA. She might transition someday to some of the other.
You're trying to bring them on board, some of them, or?
Yeah, you call them up, say, look, there's a great platform, the Amoca. You should come and knock on the doors of the teams, and because sometimes they think it's quite difficult to access. But I guess if you just show up in Lorient and be a bit present and knock on doors, so that goes for all keen sailors that want to make their future professional career in sailing. I think that's appreciated, and there's opportunities. So just apply and come and be present, and you will find your way.
More opportunities than when you started out.
Say again?
More opportunities than when you started out.
I think if you really are keen for something, you will always find opportunities. You see Conrad Colman, he didn't have sponsor money, a boat 2 years ago, or like he had already a boat, but not a sponsor, and he was so keen and he found it. And the same thing went 10 years ago when we first spoke about his Class 40. And this is the beauty for me of these races, and especially the Vendée Globe, where there are so many cases, especially in the second half of the fleet in the ranking, of these self-made, determining, I want to do something and I'm going to get there no matter what. We see the same with Pip Hare, with people who really put everything on, roll the dice, go in and put everything on it. And that's really, for me, as important in the Vendée Globe as the performance side.
So, so you enjoyed the channel yesterday with Sam, presumably a lot?
Yeah, this is the other virtue of the Vendée Globe is that channel. And I guess the downside of Les Sables d'Olonne that we can't come in a stormy night and have to wait 24 hours outside. We accept it happily because there's no better place to go along a crowd. There's nothing like that in an America's Cup. There's nothing like that in the Olympic Games. It is only in the Vendée Globe that you have thousands of people really standing next 30 meters away. You can hear everyone individually shouting. They shout your name. They say from their heart. Really, you can feel the passion of the crowd.
The love and respect.
Yes.
For doing the race. Obviously, Boris came in with Sam Davies. This is Sam's interview on the dock yesterday.
Just really happy to be here after I've waited for this moment since 2009. It's my fourth Vendée Globe, and so it's the second time I'm finishing, and just incredible. And I think the harder it is to get here, the more you appreciate the finish. And the last few days have been really, really tough in some massive winter storms. And I'm really proud of how the boat behaved in those conditions, because it was pretty full on. So yeah, incredible, and frustrated with the result. I would have preferred to finish higher up in the results, but I made some mistakes and I had some issues just really in wrong moments in terms of weather windows and stuff. So I know where I went wrong and why that happened. And although the results weren't there, the competition was there, and it was just incredible. And it was great racing with a group, so close to the other boats the whole time. And start with Boris, Justin, and Clarisse, and then with Clarisse and Benj at the end. And it was just such an amazing race, and so cool to be able to push the boat 100% from start to finish with boats so close all the time. So yeah, I've got no regrets. It's just an amazing race, an amazing adventure.
So the weather situation looking pretty good for Roman Attanasio, expecting him in on Sunday. Generally fairly moderate breezes coming in, getting lighter towards the finish perhaps, but the low pressure chasing him in. So generally a pretty straightforward situation for him. Just bumping into the high pressure ridge as he comes in, so it's a case of probably having to make a couple of jibes as he gets into the Bay of Biscay, but otherwise very much a straightforward situation for Roman. Say should be in on Sunday, just getting quite light as he gets into the high pressure, which is over Northern Europe at the moment. Otherwise, this is really the big boat race. This is the battle for the boats coming in over to the north of the Azores just now, led by Damien Sagan, Alan Roura pacing him just now. Then the battle for the first dagger boats are really between Tanguy Le Turquet and also Benjamin Ferré in this group. That's going to be one to watch through the early part of the week. But it's quite complicated for them. They have this high pressure ridge in front. They have the low pressure coming in with strong southerlies. But very, very much a direct route for them just now, getting light as they get towards the Bay of Biscay perhaps. So we're seeing perhaps a little bit of compression, but certainly the top two, the foiling boats, the faster foiling boats, Damien Sagan and Alan Roura should have the advantage coming in. And we see just a little bit of compression coming in the final minutes coming into Les Sables d'Olonne. Then having a quick look at the three last boats, Manu Cousin, Fabrice Amadeo and Denis van Veenberg. Quite complicated for them coming up the Brazilian coast, but getting into some better breezes for them. And so that is the weather this Friday. So that's the weather. So Boris, tell us a little bit about your mental preparation. What's the key to your being more serene this time?
I think there are a few factors. As I already mentioned, the boat, its space
Confidence.
and light, the kind of how you feel as a human being inside this space. On a comfortable seat, lots of lights around, and a bit more space to live. So that made a big difference. Knowing the boat well, we had sailed so many miles on her, 100,000 miles, I think. It's a lot. And then talking also to coaches.
Numerous coaches or just one? Or?
Well, it wasn't a long campaign of like mental preparation. I did a little bit undervalued or disregarded almost, because I was so focusing on the ocean race first, and they think, oh, I can deal with that later. Then the two transats went really well, so I said, okay, it's gonna be fine, I don't need to do anything. And then just I freaked out from September before the Vendée Globe and said, oh, I should see someone and speak a little bit about my anxiety. And there's someone, Scott, he got recommended to me by Alex Thompson, and he did great inputs for me, like breathing technique, tapping technique. You can tap a few points, especially here, and breathe deeply into your belly and slowly, and that can calm down your nervous system and actually bring you into a more relaxed state. And I remember being up in the rig and to just tiny trigger just to breathe a little bit in my stomach while I was fiddling around, and immediately felt the impact, I guess, because the mind recalls the state of the relaxed mind. And so I don't need to do so many active exercises on the boat. It's just the case that before I had gone through that briefings regularly and paid attention to it, being a bit mindful about it, that really helped. And yeah, a few other coaches as well, and then a few here and there, but sporadic. Talking about
any one thing that you could pass on to our viewers that help in a time of anxiety or extreme stress?
I mean, there were really two things. One was like really a psychologist speaking about my past fears from the last Vendée Globe, being afraid of the feeling of solitude. So we went through it. We said, like, okay, let's recall one moment. What happened there? And then they use a technique, it's called EMDA, where they do move the fingers like this, and that can access your state of mind, and you can actually kind of reprogram really the neurons in your brain. And that I don't know how it actually works, but it seems to have an effect. It works, and so I'm very thankful for that. And the other thing was kind of the more proactive with Scott, breathing, calming down, being mindful, tapping a little bit to just take away a moment of fear, anxiety, or to actively change your state of mind. And that really works. It's not even that complicated.
Come back to you in a few seconds, Boris. But let's look at Alan Rura racing head-to-head with Damien Seguin. They're in this drag race coming in towards Les Sables, and they're all in sight of each other.
Après, c'est un peu un coup sur deux. Hein. Un coup, c'est moi qui vais plus vite, un coup, c'est lui. Franchement, c'est hyper élégant de les voir naviguer comme ça. C'est rigolo. C'est rigolo. Il y a Tanguy là-bas, là. Salut, chouchou! C'est quand même ouf d'être là aligné, quoi. C'est oufissime. À chaque vague, il y en a un qui repasse devant. Enfin, c'est un peu... Ouais, c'est chouette.
Very, very swift flash through the rankings just now. Roman Atanasio is more than 400 miles in hand as he comes in for almost a certain 14th place. Damien Seguin and Benjamin Ferry, not far between them. There's only 32 miles or 26 miles between them. Just now, Alan Rura and Benjamin Ferry, only 10 miles between them. Tanguy Le Turki in 18th, Isabel Josk in 19th, Giancarlo Pedotti in 21st. He has only 3 miles ahead of Conrad Colman, who really is pushing hard, our crazy Kiwi. Kojiro Shiraishi out in his own a little bit just now in 24th. Further down the table, Ollie here, 30th, battling with Jung Kun Chu. Nice little match race between the two of them. Denny van Veenberg in 34th. That's the ranking, still 20 boats out on the water. Half the fleet, Boris, indeed. Tell me, you were talking when we were speaking before, you were saying you wanted to do some cruising around Cape Horn at some point. Is that?
Yeah, since childhood, I read books and saw images of Patagonia, the mountains, the stories. I read like travel literature from Bruce Chatwin about Patagonia, and it's kind of iconic. I always think
you want to do all that.
It's a dream destiny for exploring. Yeah.
And this summer, some Admiral's Cup, I believe.
Yeah, we do the Admiral's Cup with Team Alicia and the Yacht Club Monaco. Pierre Casiraghi being the skipper. Will be on board. Cole, myself,
as well?
Cole Brower.
Yep.
Who else do we have? Holly, you manage everything. So, but Holly is involved in organizing that. So
and why?
Know more about it.
It's an obvious question. Just a chance to do something very
Pierre's
different.
idea. So many things that we do is Pierre Casiraghi's idea. So Monaco being really the strong bond, the strong friendship that we have, and everything really started like that. It was the 15th February 2016, and he called me. I was sitting in Hamburg. He said, "Come to Monaco, I have an idea." And he told me, we
Said, "No,
start,
I'm busy."
we start Team Malizia tomorrow. You take care of everything, and let's do it. And then we did sail the GC32 for 2 years, and then we brought the Mocha in, and now he said, okay, I have a new idea. Let's also do the Admirals Cup. So yeah, we are really pleased about this legendary race being back online, meeting a totally different crowd, and we all have affinity with inshore sailing. I've done a lot of dinghy racing. I've done TP52 circuits, and I love that kind of very close racing. We have Will as an expert of the Solent.
He says.
So we have high hopes, and of course we want to perform there, and we have a well-prepared boat.
Good. Anything else you got planned? A little bit more left field that you really want to achieve over the next couple of years?
We have so much going on, really, honestly. That's amazing. So Holly is really very busy. The team is growing. We're going to have 2 boats. It was in the team to manage. Our current boat, the new boat, we are transforming our hangar. We have then also an expedition vessel, sailing vessel that we are refurbishing at the moment to do ocean science and advocacy. We still collaborate closely with Monaco, going down there this summer. The Ocean Race Europe, the round England and Ireland race this summer.
Wow.
So we sailed twice in the Med back and forth this year. TJV is on this year. So we couldn't do more. We couldn't do more, honestly.
And more babies?
Not yet. Just one.
There'll be more on the way, I'm quite sure. But anyway, thank you so much, both of us, for joining you, and we'll see you around. So there we are. That's what we have time for today. Unfortunately, running out of time once again. But join us again tomorrow. We'll have Sam Davies on the plateau with us. We'll have Benjamin Dutroux coming into the channel this afternoon at 5 o'clock. So join us for the live then, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
有饺子吃，太棒了！哎，好幸福啊！